Welcome back to First Take. A.J. Brown shared the field with the Eagles yesterday for the first time since the team traded him to New England this offseason. Teams had a joint practice in Foxborough. Brown and Drake May connected for 6 catches on 6 targets during 7-on-7 and team drills. And afterwards, Brown spoke with our Sal Palantonio about his new QB.
He's a true leader. He's a true leader, man. He's young, man, and he's always watching tape. He's always trying to get better. We're sitting talking about the defenses and what you like and how you see the game, and we're trying to see it at the same time. You know, that's the biggest hurdle right now. You know, obviously, when we sit down and we talk in the meetings, it's easy. But when we out there and the bullets flying, we need to think at the same time, and that's where we're getting to. And we've done good. We have done good sometimes, and we miss the mark sometimes as well, and that's expected. You know, because we're still learning each other and we're still trying to keep this thing going.
I hear A.J. Brown say that Drake May Myron is a true leader, that it's easy when they communicate together. So you can read that as, well, was he saying the same things about Jalen Hurts once upon a time? But as we look at these two offenses, the Eagles without A.J. Brown, and now the Patriots with A.J. Brown, who will have the more dangerous unit?
I still like the Eagles because I still think the high-end talent is there. If you tell me Saquon Barkley goes from 5.8 yards per carry to 4.1, I think that's more of an anomaly than what he actually is. I think there's a bounce-back season there. Obviously, teams stacked the box, and it was hard for that offense to get rolling. I think you're going to see Jalen Hurts throwing more, running more, doing all the things he has to do as a playmaker without A.J. Brown. And I think the biggest piece in all this is Devontae Smith becoming more of a scoring target. Can he get into the end zone and be that big-time receiver? Mekhi Lemon, you pick up Eli Storrs, Dallas Goedert. I think the weapons are there, and it's going to give other players a chance to shine without A.J. Brown in the mix.
Myron, but we said dangerous.
Dangerous to me.
And I agree. Like, I think Saquon maybe is the X factor in this conversation. I do think this offense is going to be better. But Devontae's been out camp. Mekhi's been out during camp. We're talking dangerous. You had a quarterback who was runner-up for the MVP last year with Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, and Mac Hollins. You traded Stephon Diggs for A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs, who was also the leading receiver for the Packers last year. So if we're talking about danger, I mean, he had 4,300 yards last year, 31 touchdowns, led the NFL in passer rating. You had A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs to that. This team can stretch you vertically. They can stretch you 53 1/3. The ability to push the ball downfield, I think, is Drake May's superpower, and that just got exponentially increased with A.J. Brown on the outside.
Yeah, I think we have to hone in on the word dangerous, and it is...
Does dangerous mean more explosive in your mind?
So I'm glad you asked it that way.
Yeah.
I picked Jalen Hurts for MVP, okay? And the reason I think Jalen Hurts is going to win the MVP is it's going to be 1 million paper cuts. I don't know if that's dangerous. I think New England's more dangerous in terms of quick strike, downfield, as you mentioned, the versatility. They go 5 or 6 wide in terms of the number of guys that you're like, I could put them on the football field and be productive. And they have the best offensive coordinator in the sport, in my mind, in Josh McDaniels. Okay, so New England, to me, is more dangerous. But at the end of the season, I am fascinated, to Myron's point, to see what this Philadelphia offense looks like. Because we've sat here, rightfully so, off of Sal Powell's interview that we just saw with A.J. Brown yesterday. We talked about A.J. Brown. We've talked about Jalen Hurts. Yet hardcore X's and O's, watch the tape football people like Jordan Rodgers may sit there and tell you, cool, none of those at their best are the best player on the team. Saquon maybe. Saquon actually maybe. Or Jordan Mailata, the offensive lineman, or Lane Johnson. Like, I think the danger for Philly, if they are ever dangerous, they need to be as boring as possible. That's their version of dangerous. Ball control, Saquon-focused offense, some dinking and dunking. Dallas Goedert maybe as their leading receiver as a tight end, which I think is a huge weapon for the quarterback. But like game 1, you're going to watch New England against Seattle, and A.J. Brown will probably have a 70-yard touchdown. Like, that'll probably happen at some point, or he'll break 3 tackles and they'll feel dangerous. I think as the season goes on, it'll be a series of paper cuts for Philadelphia as through 17 games. Why are you laughing at that?
Well, it's just interesting you call it like a boring offense when they have like the most one of the best plays in football, which we found out from Sean Mannion. The tush-push is going to still stay in that playbook. That's boring?
I love the tush-push, but yes, by design, it is supposed to be boring. A QB sneak is exciting.
When it crosses into the end zone?
Well, sure, but like, you're talking about
a play that is
one-yard runs.
unstoppable is boring.
Okay, let's
Yes. Because you know what's going to happen.
That's boring.
When you're watching a movie, you know how it ends. It's kind of boring.
Well,
It sounds like winning is boring.
That's the point.
It's what people are saying. I don't think winning is boring.
No, I think it should be in some cases. In the Eagles' case, Myron, I think it should be. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I need a dictionary to understand what the word dangerous means, because I think it means the team that can be explosive, imposing, dominant. You have a 2,000-yard rusher just 2 years ago. You have a quarterback who led his team to a Super Bowl. You've got a wide receiver who I think will be better. You bring in all these key pieces. To me, I don't think New England matches that. We're talking about a lot of things that New England may do. And here's my challenge about Drake May, who I think will be good. Mm-hmm. How many quarterbacks have we seen had phenomenal years, whether it was their first or second season? C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels. And it was more difficult the following seasons because teams did more to understand their tendencies, to slow them down. Drake May, I think, is going to have a different adjustment this year. Last year, he surprised everybody. This year, he'll surprise no one. How does he respond to that?
Well, and he also has the same coordinator.
Yes.
That's something that was different with C.J. Stroud and obviously with Jaden Daniels last year.
And I think that's the caveat, because we're also, and I agree, I actually think this Eagles offense is going to be better than people think. I'm actually more bullish on them, despite what I said in this conversation here about Patriots being more dangerous. But we're also guaranteeing that Jalen Hurts does some things this year that he wasn't asked to do. Last 2 years, he targeted the middle of the field between the numbers at a lower rate than any quarterback by far in the NFL. Sean Mannion in this offense, LaFleur, Shanahan, they attacked the middle of the field off play action. Also under center. They were 27th in under center rate last year. He's going to be under center a little more. They're not going to major in that. But we're also kind of projecting that, well, Mekhi Lemon will be healthy, and I think he will. Devontae Smith has missed some time. He'll be healthy, and I think he will. But there's a lot of question marks that still have to come together for them to go, oh, yeah, this offense is going to be legit, as I feel they could be. But I think more question marks than maybe the Pats.
Myron asked a great question, but I think we should try to answer this of dangerous, because I think we're kind of all answering it different ways. Like, when I hear the word dangerous, I think upon arrival, like big explosive plays, and they're ready to go upon arrival. I don't know that Philly's going to be ready upon arrival. I think what Philly is you're going to look at game 1 and then look at game 17 and say, wow, are they so much better? I think New England is going to be really good game 1 and really good game 17, but maybe consistent. And I'm glad you brought up the same coordinator year over year. I wonder, to counter the Drake May, could he go down? I would argue that Drake May have the same offensive coordinator the entirety of his career. New England pulled a trick that is an amazing trick that I thought Philly should have pulled, which is hire a coordinator that is unhireable as a head coach. And I thought Philly should have gone back to that route with Frank Reich and brought him back as the OC, because he's unhireable anymore as a head coach. Nobody's going to hire Josh McDaniels as a head coach, which means you have a young quarterback that will have the same guy every year. Jalen Hurts, the problem with him now is he definitively will have a different OC yet again every year. Because if they're really good, Sean Mannion's going to be a head coach. And if they're really bad, Sean Mannion will get fired. That's just the way it is in Philadelphia. So I think what they have is gradual improvement, which I don't look at as dangerous. New England is upon arrival, impact, dangerous.
I'm also wondering about the kind of pressure that A.J. Brown's going to put on a young quarterback if he doesn't get his way, if he doesn't get his targets. Week 1, everything's going to be fine. Let's get to week 7 and week 8 and see if A.J. Brown is still happy and if Drake May feels the pressure to get his big-time receiver the ball, because that's what Jalen Hurts felt last year. So I think that could be a challenge.
But Jalen was probably always fighting with okay, I've been to a Super Bowl. I won a Super Bowl. Like, I don't have to do it your way. You're a young quarterback. You got A.J. Brown over there chirping at you. You throw him the ball.
But he got to one.
That's okay.
But Drake got to one. Drake got to a Super Bowl.
Well, I know, yeah.
So he's got some street cred in that locker room where
Totally.
A.J. Brown is not the leader of that team.
Yeah, I think maybe just wired they're a little different is what I was alluding to.
But that's an interesting point, because we all go to the place of, well, A.J. Brown wanted to go to New England because he has experience with the head coach from Tennessee, Mike Vrabel, and he grew up a Patriots fan. There's zero chance that he would go to New England if Drake May wasn't the quarterback. Like, we can spin it.
Yes.
Like, the reason he's in New England is because of Drake May, right? That is clearly the reason.